You wake up. You reach for your phone before your eyes have even fully adjusted to the morning light. You scroll. You tap. You watch. You believe you are choosing what to see, what to buy, and what to think. You believe you are the architect of your own day. But you are wrong. Every swipe you make, every pause you take, and every hesitation you exhibit is being harvested in real time. You are not a user. You are a data point in a vast, cold, and calculated simulation of human behavior. Somewhere in a server farm, buried deep beneath the earth, an invisible model has already predicted your next move. It knows your insecurities, your political leanings, and your deepest desires before you have even articulated them to yourself. It has mapped the architecture of your psyche, and it is using that map to nudge you ever so slightly toward a reality that serves someone else's bottom line. We like to think of free will as a sacred, untouchable force. We pride ourselves on our autonomy, our ability to resist, and our capacity for independent thought. But look closely at the screen in your palm. That recommendation engine isn't just suggesting a video. It is curating your worldview. That shopping advertisement isn't just showing you a product. It is exploiting a neurochemical vulnerability in your brain to manufacture a need that didn't exist 5 minutes ago. You are living inside a feedback loop, a digital cage where the bars are made of code and the walls are painted with the illusion of choice. The transition happened slowly. It wasn't a sudden invasion or a loud declaration of war. It was a gradual surrender. We traded our privacy for convenience, and our agency for an endless stream of dopamine-fueled distraction. Now, the predictive models have become so sophisticated that they don't just react to what you do. They anticipate who you will become. They are building a digital twin of your consciousness, a ghost in the machine that mimics your habits so perfectly that it can simulate your future decisions with terrifying accuracy. Think about the last time you felt a sudden urge to buy something, to visit a specific place, or to change your opinion on a complex issue. Did that thought truly originate within you? Or was it planted by a sequence of signals, a carefully orchestrated cascade of information designed to bypass your conscious mind and trigger a specific emotional response? We are being programmed, day by day, click by click, by architects who view human behavior not as a mystery to be respected, but as a variable to be optimized. The illusion of autonomy is the most effective form of control ever invented. If you believe you are in charge, you never look for the strings. You never question the path you are walking because you are convinced that you chose the destination. But the algorithm doesn't care about your happiness, your growth, or your truth. It cares about engagement. It cares about your time. And it is willing to reshape your entire perception of reality to keep you trapped in its infinite, profitable loop. We are drifting into an era where the divide between human intent and machine influence has vanished. We are no longer the masters of our own narratives. We are the actors in a play written by an intelligence that never sleeps, never forgets, and never stops predicting. The scary part isn't that the machines have taken over. The scary part is that we have invited them in, handed them the keys to our psyche, and forgotten how to tell the difference between our own thoughts and the echoes of an algorithm. And if you think you are the exception, if you think you're the one person who can see through the screen and remain truly free, then you are exactly the kind of subject the models find most predictable of all.
You think you are the protagonist of your own life. You believe that when you wake up, when you scroll, when you decide to buy that specific coffee or click on that specific link, you are exercising the sovereign power of human free will. But what if I told you that the person making those decisions isn't you? What if the real you is currently trapped in a server rack in a climate-controlled room in Northern Virginia, living a life that has already been calculated down to the millisecond? Welcome to the age of the digital doppelganger. In the deepest corridors of Silicon Valley, the objective is no longer just to track your behavior. It is to simulate your existence. They have moved beyond simple data collection. They are now building high-fidelity, synthetic replicas of your consciousness. Think of it as a virtual sandbox, a digital twin that mirrors your personality, your anxieties, your secret desires, and your impulsive triggers. This isn't science fiction. It is the core architecture of predictive modeling. While you are busy living your life in the physical world, your double is living 1,000 lives in the cloud. The algorithms run stress tests on your doppelganger millions of times a day. They feed your twin hypothetical scenarios. What if this person loses their job? What if they see this specific political advertisement? What if they are shown a video that triggers a specific dopamine spike? They watch your digital shadow fail, succeed, fall in love, or spiral into rage. They observe how your simulated self reacts to every possible variable. And once they find the path that leads to the outcome they want, be it your money, your vote, or your attention, they simply nudge the real you toward that same conclusion. You feel like you're choosing, but you are merely following a script that was written by a machine that knows your subconscious better than you know yourself. This is the ultimate form of psychological puppetry. The algorithm has mapped the geography of your mind. It knows that when you are tired, you are more susceptible to fear. It knows that when you are lonely, you are more likely to seek validation through consumption. It monitors your digital heartbeat, your typing speed, and the microscopic hesitations in your cursor movement to determine your emotional state before you have even consciously labeled it. We have traded our autonomy for convenience. We have allowed these architects of choice to build a cage around our reality, one line of code at a time. The terrifying truth is that the feedback loop is closing. As your digital doppelganger becomes more accurate, the distinction between your authentic self and the predictive model begins to dissolve. You start to behave the way the algorithm expects you to behave, simply because it has curated an environment where that behavior is the path of least resistance. You are being groomed. You are being steered toward a future that has been pre-rendered by models that view your life as a series of data points to be optimized. The tragedy isn't that the machines are becoming sentient. It is that we are becoming predictable. We are becoming NPCs in our own existence, performing routines that were calculated in a board while we were still asleep. If you stop for a moment, if you try to step outside the stream of information they feed you, you will feel the friction. That feeling of unease, that sudden craving for your device, that itch to return to the familiar comfort of the feed, that is the sound of the digital tether pulling you back.
But consider this. If they have to simulate your life to predict your future, it means they are still afraid of the one thing they cannot code: the truly irrational, the truly spontaneous, and the truly human act of defiance. The question is no longer whether you are being controlled. The question is whether you are still capable of doing the one thing that will break their model. The algorithm is waiting for your next move. It has already calculated what you will do next. It is betting everything that you will remain exactly who it thinks you are.
The real question is, are you ready to prove the machine wrong? You think you are standing at the crossroads of your life, staring at a map of infinite possibilities, choosing your own path with the steady hand of free will. But look closer at the road beneath your feet. It is not a path you carved, it is a corridor constructed for you, paved with invisible bricks of data and illuminated by a light that only you were meant to see. Welcome to the era of behavioral architecture. We are no longer living in a society of individuals. We are living in a laboratory of choices. In the high-rise glass offices of Silicon Valley, the most brilliant minds of our generation are not building tools to help you live better. They are building digital architects, predictive models designed to nudge your subconscious precursors toward a predetermined outcome. They call it the nudge. It sounds gentle, doesn't it? Almost helpful. But in the cold math of an algorithm, a nudge is a surgical strike against your autonomy. Think about the last time you felt a sudden, inexplicable urge to change your career, to buy a specific brand of comfort, or to feel a surge of indignation about a political headline. You felt that impulse rising within you, organic and authentic. But what if that urge was synthesized? What if your environment was subtly curated? The news feeds you see, the targeted advertisements that mimic your inner monologue, the social validation loops, to create a reality where that specific choice felt like the only logical conclusion. These systems operate on the principle of predictive precision. They know your psychological profile better than your spouse, your parents, or even your own reflection. They know the exact moment your willpower is at its lowest, the precise frequency of fear or desire required to make you click, to make you subscribe, to make you conform. They don't need to force you to do anything. They simply remove the friction from the path they want you to take and add heavy, invisible obstacles to the paths they want you to avoid. Your romantic preferences are now filtered through compatibility scores that prioritize engagement over genuine connection. Your political leanings are reinforced by echo chambers that feed your confirmation bias until your worldview becomes a feedback loop of manufactured rage. Even your career ambitions are being steered by labor market projections that calculate your utility to the system long before you have written your first resume. This is the architecture of the modern soul. We are being programmed by an environment that shifts and morphs in real time based on our reactions. Every second you spend scrolling, every hesitation before a purchase, every pause on a video, it is all training data. It is a constant, silent conversation between your neurobiology and a machine learning model that never sleeps. The most disturbing truth is not that we are being manipulated, but that we are enjoying it. We have traded the messy, unpredictable nature of true freedom for the smooth, optimized experience of a life curated by machines. We feel safe because our reality is predictable. We feel understood because the algorithm mirrors our own biases back to us. But in this comfort, we have lost the ability to be truly spontaneous. We have lost the ability to be wrong, to be erratic, to be human. When your environment is engineered to satisfy your every impulse, you stop growing. You stop challenging your own assumptions. You become a passenger in your own life, watching the scenery of your future scroll by on a screen, convinced that you are the one holding the steering wheel. Look at your life today. Strip away the notifications, the recommendations, and the curated feeds. What is left? If the algorithm were to go dark tomorrow, would you even know who you are? Or would you be a stranger to your own desires? The architecture is finished. The walls are high. And the most dangerous part of this digital cage is that it is designed to be invisible, leading you to believe that the choices you make are your own, while the script was written in code long before you ever had the chance to speak. You wake up, reach for your phone, and the day begins. You believe you are deciding what to watch, who to follow, and what to desire. You think your path is a product of your own ambition and your unique taste. But what if I told you that your life has become a closed-loop system? What if your trajectory isn't a series of spontaneous choices, but a series of calculated outcomes? In the boardrooms of Silicon Valley, human agency is not viewed as a sacred, philosophical mystery. It is viewed as a variable. To the architects of our digital reality, you are not a person with a soul or a complex history. You are a data set waiting to be optimized. They have spent the last 2 decades mapping the topography of your subconscious, refining a mathematical model that can predict your next move before you even feel the impulse to make it. This is the math of free will. It is cold, precise, and entirely indifferent to your happiness. The algorithms don't care if you are fulfilled. They only care that you are predictable. By analyzing the micro patterns of your behavior, the way your thumb hovers over a video, the exact millisecond you pause to read a headline, the rhythm of your late night scrolling, these models build a digital twin of your consciousness. They know your triggers, your insecurities, and your desires better than you know them yourself. When they feed you content, they aren't just showing you what you like. They are shaping who you become. Every notification is a nudge. Every recommended video is a subtle steering of your worldview. They are constructing an echo chamber so perfectly tailored to your psychological profile that you lose the ability to see outside of it. You become a prisoner of your own preferences, trapped in a feedback loop where the algorithm feeds you more of the same, stifling your capacity for genuine discovery or change. We are living in an era of behavioral modification on a global scale. Your life path, the career you choose, the partner you seek, the beliefs you hold, is being silently optimized for one primary goal: the extraction of data. If you are predictable, you are profitable. If you are impulsive, you are valuable. The tech giants have turned the messy, chaotic beauty of human existence into a solvable equation. They have commodified the very thing that makes us human: our ability to choose. Think about the last time you felt a genuine, unprompted curiosity. Was it truly yours? Or was it a seed planted by a recommendation engine designed to keep you online for 5 minutes longer? We are being programmed by invisible hands, nudged toward outcomes that serve the bottom line of massive, faceless corporations. The tragedy is not that the technology is failing. The tragedy is that it is working exactly as intended. As we move deeper into this era of predictive models, the boundary between the machine and the mind is dissolving. We are being reduced to points on a graph. Our future is mapped out by lines of code that treat our lives as a resource to be mined. You are currently walking a path that was paved for you long before you took the first step. The question is no longer whether you are being controlled. The question is whether you can still recognize the difference between your own desires and the ones that were programmed into you. Look closely at your daily habits. Look at the fears that keep you awake at night and the dreams that drive your ambition. Are they yours? Or are they the artifacts of an optimization process that views your life as nothing more than a series of data points waiting to be harvested? The math is complete. The model is running. And for now, the algorithm is winning.
The most chilling realization
is not that we are being watched, but that we are being steered, one click at a time, toward a reality that we never truly chose to inhabit. We are the architects of our own digital cages, and the locks are being turned by the math of our own making. Look at your hand. Move your finger. You believe that was an act of free will, a spontaneous command born from the quiet sanctuary of your own mind. But what if I told you that the impulse to move, the desire to act, and the logic you use to justify it were already calculated, processed, and served to you milliseconds before you even felt the urge? We live in an era where the illusion of agency is the most sophisticated product ever sold. We are no longer the architects of our own lives. We are merely the occupants of a reality designed by invisible predictive models. For years, we believed the internet was a tool, a vast, neutral library where we could seek truth. We were wrong. It is a mirror, but not one that reflects who you are. It is a mirror that reflects who the algorithm needs you to become to keep the system running. Every scroll, every pause, every heartbeat detected by your wearable tech is a data point fed into a machine that knows you better than you know yourself. It knows your insecurities before you feel them. It knows your political shifts before you voice them. It knows your breaking point. Think about the last major decision you made, the job you took, the partner you chose, the city you moved to. Did those paths truly emerge from the depths of your soul, or were they the logical conclusion of a series of nudges? A targeted ad here, a curated newsfeed there, a social media trend that validated your deepest anxieties. We have been conditioned to believe that our preferences are organic, but they are manufactured. We are living in a feedback loop where the machine feeds us our own desires, repackaged and optimized for engagement. We are entering a stage of human history where the line between biology and binary has effectively vanished. When the machine can predict your behavior with 99% accuracy, does it matter if you have free will? You are essentially a variable in a global simulation, a data point in a sprawling digital architecture that values your attention above your humanity. You are the product. Your life is the inventory. And the architecture of your reality is built to ensure that you never wake up from the dream. The terrifying truth isn't that a computer will take over the world with weapons or steel. It is that it has already taken over the world by colonizing your consciousness. It has turned your autonomy into a relic of the past. You are being steered toward outcomes you didn't choose, toward a future written in code that you cannot see. So, what remains of you? If the algorithm strips away the choice, what is left of the human experience? Perhaps the only act of rebellion left is to realize that you are being watched, and to understand that the desire to reclaim your mind is the only thing the system cannot fully predict. But even as you listen to these words, consider this. Is this realization your own, or was it just another piece of data designed to make you feel like you are still in control? The cage is invisible, but it is absolute. And the most chilling part of this digital existence is that eventually, you stop trying to leave. You stop fighting the design. You simply become part of the architecture, a silent, obedient component in a machine that never sleeps, never forgets, and never stops calculating. You are not making your own choices. You are just watching the movie of your life, convinced that you are the director, while the script was finalized long before you were born. The simulation is complete, and you are the final piece of the puzzle.